Welcome to Beyond the Blueprints. I'm your host, Jason Smith. We are live in Orlando, Florida at the NAHB IBS Home Builders Show, the largest show of its kind in the entire world. Here today with Kevin Lansink, Lansink Custom Homes, Rich Orta, Beefy Homes. So these guys work with me back home and they're here for the show. I just wanted to have you on and just talk about, so, you know, we have all kinds of different folks on the show and you know, you guys being custom builders, what are you here looking for at the show? I mean, you might find the next biggest great thing. We were just talking off air about some shingles and just, you know, random stuff, but, you know, you might find something that's unique here. What kinds of things might you find unique for your business?
Sure. I mean, being a small builder, I think we have to take a different tack, a different look. We can't compete on some levels with the largest of the large. So I always like to say we take an asymmetrical warfare tap, a 90-degree angle. So I'd like to think we're trying to attack some of the newer trends, something to attract the newest home buyer to our product, to single us out, make us unique. As a small custom builder, you know, we want people to see it, feel it, touch it, you know, to draw our product away from a truck builder perhaps, or a standardized builder. As I was talking to you, I was looking at more of some of the newer products on the shingles, you know, why we would go away from architectural shingle to perhaps some of the steel rubberized shingles, you know, the look of slate, X, Y, and Z, the goods, the bads, and some of the positives that might come from it, and some of the negatives for our side.
Will people pay for it?
Will they pay for it? That's the thing. Can we justify it?
Sure.
You know, because we want to give them the best.
Yes.
But we also got to make sure they can afford what we're giving them, and we can afford to give it to them. It is a business.
Yeah, and so you build in, and as you build in more and more places, you're going to figure out that you're going to build in more markets and sub-markets. Some markets and sub-markets will take some things and some won't. So so Kevin came, so just a little tidbit, Kevin came out early. He got to go see the Daytona 500, which I'm jealous. If you watched the last 5 laps, you basically saw everything exciting.
Race.
Exactly. So so Kevin, this is not your first trip to the show here. What kind of things are you looking for?
So being a custom home builder too, I'm looking for more in fads, trends, technologies in the home, and looking for like designs, features, and cabinets, and technologies and stuff. Like one thing I've already seen coming out, like in your kitchens, there's a design you can put your cell phones down on the kitchen counter and it'll charge your cell phone while you're cooking in the kitchen. And just different designs on the interior designs and fads that we'll be putting in our new homes.
So are there specific things that you guys are looking for while you're here? I mean, I know we talked about that, but technology, you hit on something with all the new AI trends and all the new in-home technologies. What are some things that you think you might could find here that you might could incorporate in your homes?
I think you just hit on something good, and I think you hit on something earlier in your conversation, the different price point models of what we can incorporate. Obviously, like in our area is not California. We have different price points on our home, but a home that we would sell at the $400,000 level, we'd still like to incorporate some of this nicer technology to separate ourselves. And maybe that's what we're trying to discover here. What can we afford? What can we find that will sell, and what is needed? Keyword needed, not just, you know, as he labeled a cell phone charger on some granite or on a countertop, which I may say, hey, that's pretty cool, but will a buyer like it enough to buy it? You know, is that enough of a price point? Maybe on a high-end house because they have lots of extra cash, but on the low-end house, that's probably not where I'm going. I need to find some things that are more affordable on the technology front, but that I can offer them that it's going to attract them.
It's not going to run your price way up.
My price
exactly.
But it will still attract them, you know, because these buyers still want it, and I need to find a way to separate again.
Yeah.
Separation.
So as a smaller custom builder, are you guys taking advantage of educational sessions here? Or I know if you walk through the building, the floors as we like to call it, and you can walk yourself to death. Clearly, there's over 1 million square foot of exhibit space in this show between all the exhibit halls. But if you walk in there, some of the booths and some of the places they have demos and things, and are there things like that interest you here, or is that something that really doesn't interest you?
Some. I think some of them pull my interest, but if you get wrapped on all of them, we'll run out of time because, like you said, it's a
Yes.
million square feet. This
Yes.
is a lot of area to cover. But there are some that are definitely going to give me some education that
Yeah.
bring home. And I mean, that's the whole point of why we're here, to get education.
Yes.
To get something that we can't just readily grab from the internet.
Yeah.
Or maybe we grabbed a little bit from the internet, but not enough to appease our minds, i.e. the shingles. That's where first thing I went to. Show me, let me touch it, let me feel it. How do I put it on?
Yeah.
Same kind of deal.
So many folks back home and across the country, kitchen and baths are everything to a lot of people. It's what the people walk in. It's the first thing they see. They fall in love and ooh and ah. There's obviously a whole kitchen and bath show. You can come see the newest design you mentioned in cabinets earlier. Closet design and innovation. So, you plan on stopping and visiting that part of the show?
Yes.
Closets are big for me. That's one thing I was talking to him about just yesterday. Because we do our closets a certain way, some similar, and we like to. That's something we like to separate ourselves from a lot of builders, to really put a nice closet, not just in the master. We like to separate, but it's a price point issue. What can we offer? How nice can we offer it? And I'd like to compare what we're doing now to perhaps some products out there that are very nice, price pointed specific, that we might be able to offer. So that's one place I'm going to target. To see if I can find something that can help us.
So if you go to the kitchen and bath portion of the show, the closets are obviously in there, and they have some really cool concepts. And I know in your price ranges, we're all being moved up in the price range. So just so we're clear, I mean, I tell everybody, the old 600 is now the 8s and 900s, and the old 8s and 900s is now north of $1 million. But one of the things that I think is pretty cool is when I go to the kitchen and bath stuff in the closet section specifically, I love the hidden doors because I'm a gadgety kind of guy.
Right.
So I love anything that's cool like that, and I love to see all the cool doors, like the big front doors, and the way now the doors that they're hinged in the center. I don't know if you've seen some of those, and just there's so many cool things. The next big idea, as they say, could come out of this show. We say that every year, and something big always comes out of one of these shows. So I don't know what that'll be this year, but there for a while, windows and doors we're going through a transition, it seemed like, and people, the casements, and then these great big front doors, and but to an average, what I call an average moderate custom home in our market, you have to be cognizant of your price point, like you said. So you have to kind of pick and choose. Okay, can I put this in the home, and can it not add that much of a price, but make that much, maybe get them over the edge to buy the home. So you're trying to figure out what those things are. So
what's going to bring the buyer to us, and what's going to make the buyer happy at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's a balancing act. I would say myself and Kevin, we're not building $5 million houses every day. We're probably in the 400, 1.4, or something like that. That because, like you said, the 800,000 is the 1 million, 1.1. So you're in that price point. What is the average? Better than me nowadays.
So nowadays, I mean, pretty much outside of where we are right now, as we go into new projects moving forward, I don't see any custom builder building homes under $700,000-800,000. My opinion only. Kevin, you're building. You've been around this a little bit, but that's pretty much where we're headed.
Right.
As an entry level custom home
is now
$700,000
to $1 million.
And we're going to be talking with Edsel Charles here later today, who's with Market Graphics Research, a market guru, a total expert on the housing market, and we're really going to pick his brain on where the market's going, where we are versus 12, 18, 24 months ago, and where we might be. He does a lot of forecasting, where we might be 12 and 24 months from now. Because my guess is I'm seeing lot prices only going up. I'm seeing home prices only going up. And so that's just really where the custom market is going, and the triad. Now, I imagine that's the same regionally, but we'll dig into some of that later. So, what is one thing you're looking forward to seeing out here in Orlando at the show? Anything specific, like electronics, home, technology? Anything specific?
I'm gonna go since we're looking at the next generation of people. They're Generation X and Z. They're all internet people. I'm technology.
Technology.
You know, that's me, because that's what I like. You know,
Yeah.
in a home. You know, it used to be the trend just to have wired internet to every room. That what was that? 10 years ago,
yeah.
that was a big deal.
Cat 5 wiring
Yeah,
and all.
Cat 5, right, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know. Now, they look at you, they're like, you got wired?
Yeah.
They're rolling their eyes at you. So
Yeah.
what is the next big deal that you can bring in that lasts? Because, technology, they used to have humps when you bring it. Something you bring out would last 5-6 years on a hump. Now it's 2.5, then it was 2, then it was
Yeah.
6 months. So you have these smaller humps of chunks. So what can we have that's going to last a little longer from an investment?
Yeah. From the real estate side and the marketing side, I agree 100%, and I agree that to me, if someone's buying a home, anywhere north of $500,000 and up kind of thing, you want thermostats that are controllable through your cell phones. You want garage doors that can be controlled through your cell phone. Garage doors now even have cameras in them. I mean, they put up a garage door at my house. I had no idea, but next thing I know, there's a little camera pop down, right? So, there's things that your little phone or tablets control everything.
Your stove, your washing machine,
everything. You can cut Sunday lunch on while you're at church. Come home, be ready to go. So when you're building these homes, I mean, those are all things I think you have to stay ahead of. But even looking ahead of that, even of what's next, and I don't know what that looks like. That's way above my pay grade, but I think you'll see it here at the show, and you'll see things that where ideas are coming, and I think technology is just where it's at.
Well, it's more than the brick, the block, and the wood.
Exactly.
Obviously that's the base of the house, but we have to think past that.
Yeah, and I can remember years ago from on the pest side when they did the wires in the walls, and you could go outside and they could service your home from the outside, and that was like the newest thing. Like we just went to space or something. And so. There's just going to be new things all the time. I don't know what they are, and I look forward every year. I'm going to walk the floor tomorrow. Obviously, we're not doing it today. We're shooting episodes, but I cannot wait to walk the floor. It's one of my favorite things to do, other than getting all the exercise. I love walking around, seeing all the new things, and just what people are doing and talking about. I love to listen to people talk, because you'll hear people talking if you're around long enough, and you'll hear where you need to go look at things and what you need to watch for. So, well, Rich, thank you for joining us. Kevin.
Thank you.
Kevin Lansink Custom Homes, Rich Orta, Beefy Homes. They're both building in the Triad. You can find them on through my office at Smith Marketing, or you can call them directly. And if you want to catch another episode or this episode or future ones, go to triadnewhomeguide.com and check us out. Please share and like, and let everybody know we're here. We're live in Orlando.
Great.